Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. You know, if you watch regularly, then you know that here at The Late Show, we have a self-imposed, ill-conceived mandate to every night talk about what people are talking about. The thing is, that was before Trump won re-election. After he won re-election, what people are talking about is that they don't want to talk about what everybody's talking about. In fact, and this is true, a new poll says that 2/3 of U.S. adults are tuning out political news, which is just more proof that our politics is something. I don't know what. I've been tuning it out. Democrats are particularly tuned out, which could be why after election night, primetime viewership of MSNBC is down 54%. Listen up, MSNBC. You got to do whatever it takes to get those viewers back. Steve Kornacki, I think it might be time to ditch the khakis and show a little cornsaki. You know, work the touch screen. Still, the guy who isn't president yet is doing everything he can to capture our attention. Today, he held a press conference at his hotel home, and he said this.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Yeah. It's going to be a long 4 years. So now, if I understand this correctly, the Gulf of Mexico will become the Gulf of America. New Mexico will be dry America. And Cinco de Mayo will be the 5th of Mayo. With all the horrible people who are going to be coming back into power with him, it's good to remember that decent human beings like Jimmy Carter existed. Jimmy Carter, President Carter, who last Sunday passed away at 100. Was it murder? Probably not. As our oldest surviving president, Carter was a lesson in humility and perseverance. He rose from being a peanut farmer in Plains, Georgia, to become the commander-in-chief. Let's take a moment right now to remember some of the more colorful details of this man's great life. In 1924, Jimmy Carter became the first U.S. president to be born in a hospital. It's true. Before Carter, every single president was hatched. Carter also had one of the greatest love stories in political history. He was married to his wife, Rosalind, for 77 years. And it was love. Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. It was love at first sight. The day after Jimmy took Rosalind on their first date to the movies, he told his mother that he knew he wanted to marry her. Of course, it didn't hurt that they saw the sexiest movie at the time, Abbott and Costello in Who's on Top? When Carter took the oath of office in 1977, he used the name Jimmy instead of James, becoming the first president to be inaugurated by a nickname, but only because they refused to inaugurate the 14th president by his nickname, Franklin Pepperoni Nipples Pierce. Carter was also the first presidential candidate to give an interview to Playboy magazine in which he famously said, "He'd looked on a lot of women with lust and committed adultery in my heart many times." Shocking words, but not quite as shocking as the centerfold. Carter's presidency was plagued by many challenges: inflation, the Iran hostage crisis, and most dramatic of all, President Carter was once menaced by a killer rabbit. This is true. Here's what happened. In 1979, Carter was fishing on a pond in Georgia when he spotted an animal swimming toward his boat. That animal, it turned out, was an enraged swamp rabbit that was making strange hissing noises and gnashing its teeth. So Carter dipped a paddle into the water and splashed the oncoming rabbit, driving it to the opposite end of the pond. You could see it all in the classic 1970s Spielberg thriller, Pause. That was a long walk, is what that was. Well, we pulled a rabbit out of the hat. President Carter went on to redefine the post-presidency as a time of service giving back to the American people and really helping protect voting rights worldwide. But no American hero, of course, can die without Donald Trump making it all about himself. After Carter's death, President Biden ordered federal flags to be flown at half-staff for 30 days, which is just traditional. But That means flags will still be lowered during Trump's inauguration, making him big mad. So truth, nobody wants to see this, and no American can be happy about it. Coincidentally, that is also the title of The Late Show's Inauguration Coverage 25. Trump is so peeved that the death of a former beloved president is getting any notice on his special day that he even falsely accused Democrats of being giddy about the lowered flags. Yes, giddy. Because if there's one feeling associated with death, it's glee. Who can forget this moment from The Lion King?
Long live the king.
In news international, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un has banned hot dogs. Well, that's it. I will not be visiting North Korea now. Un is making sausage slinging a serious offense. In fact, people caught selling or cooking hot dogs could face time in the country's labor camps. Instead, Kim is urging people to prepare North Korea's traditional dish, nothing. Turning back to domestic affairs, monkeys. There's more news about the escaped primates of South Carolina's Alpha Genesis Research Facility. This is an update. Welcome. When last we met, Alpha Genesis had stopped providing updates, and it was unknown if any monkeys were still on the loose. Of course, that was back in December. So it's possible that the monkeys had simply gone home for the monkey holidays. Thanksgiving, Chimpmas, and of course, the 8 miraculous nights of Babunica. But we here at Update are thrilled to announce that, thanks to our hard work, other people have done something, and the remaining 4 loose monkeys have been spotted. According to the latest reports, locals have been seeing the monkey quartet together in a tree. Of course, that's where the monkey quartet practices for their upcoming concert. It's a classic monkey quartet: violin, viola, cello, and biting the conductor's face. For more on Alpha Genesis' response, we go to our CBS affiliate, WCSC, South Carolina's monkey news leader, and their lead primate reporter, Caroline Spikes. Caroline, have you been keeping in touch with the CEO, Greg Westergaard, over the last few weeks?
I've been keeping in touch with the CEO, Greg Westergaard, over the last few weeks, but today he tells me there are 4 monkeys remaining, and because they appear to be doing well and behaving normally, he's willing to wait before making any decisions to tranquilize them.
Thanks, Caroline. Sounds like a very humane response from the CEO. He wants to make sure the monkeys are doing well before he shoots them in the neck and brings them back to the lab to do not as well. But no matter what happens to these monkeys, they're already heroes for those who have needed their community lifted. Caroline?
Annette Yeomans has decided to use this to her business's benefit. She says people from the West Coast have ordered her shirts, hats, candles, and koozies.
Business has really been up. I mean, everybody's wanting shirts. I've shipped them, and people are still coming.
Good for her. Hopefully that merch is selling way better than their previous T-shirts. No monkeys here. But folks, this story has inspired me because it has gone far beyond a mere update. This is now a monkey merch opportunity. Welcome, shoppers. If you love South Carolina's assortment of monkey-approved products, then you're gonna love my new Low Country cookbook, Does This Taste Monkey? It's got delicious family recipes for every classic monkey dish: banana bread, banana muffins, and everyone's favorite, biting the conductor's face. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Tilda Swinton and Isabella Rossellini. But when we come back, a New Year's resolution